Hey, everybody. Hi, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about how to create a productivity system that works for you. Because, it's not a one size fits all. Some of it has to be done kind of by trial and error, right? To massage your system and make it actually work for you. And part of the issue is just embracing that it truly is a productivity system and making it sort of the official system of your business. So think about this. If you are well, when I worked in IT shops, it was which wasn't that long ago, but when I worked in IT shops, most IT shops will be a certain shop, like they are a Java shop, they only code in Java, or they are a .NET shop, they're a Microsoft organization, they use Microsoft tools, all those kinds of things, right? Where they pick an area and then they stick with it. And the reason for that is that one, you get more skilled in those areas if you are completely focused on only one thing, like Java. Then all of your developers are going to get good at writing Java code or .NET code or whatever. If you use Microsoft products, Word and all that, then your whole entire staff is going to get better at using those products because you're solely focused on that. It's when you start splintering off and doing other things that can get you, derailed, basically. And so think about this. So if you choose a productivity system, and I'm not talking about a productivity software, I'm talking about a productivity system that if you choose one and you stick with it, then you and your team will get more and more skilled at working at that system. They have a structure to lean on, right? It's similar to something like a brand book, right? If you build a brand book for yourself, it talks about, your fonts and your colors, and it kind of has rules and guidelines in there, right? Is what your brand book has. Well, the same thing with your productivity system. So I wanted to go over some of the features that you should be looking for in a productivity and implementation system. I shouldn't just say productivity, because this isn't really about productivity. I mean, productivity is great, right? But if you are cramming 80 hours of work into 40 hours a week, well, good for you, but is that really what you want to do? Are you really truly implementing everything that you want to do, or are you just working a lot? so so first of all, I wanted to say that productivity is not a tool. So when I worked in project management, in my IT shop, I had an assistant, and I wanted to teach her how to use the tool that we were using, which was Microsoft Office Project. And my boss actually insinuated that I wasn't managing my projects because I didn't want to use that tool. Well, humans manage projects, okay? Humans manage projects. Tools do not do that. Humans manage implementation. Tools do not do that. Tools help you manage, but they don't manage it for you, right? And so that was where, I felt like he was wrong, because, just because I didn't want to keep, doing the data entry on my tool, big deal, it's data entry, right? That's not managing a project. And that's what I want you to understand as you go through this process. Having a productivity and implementation system is the single most important thing that you can do for your business right now. And you can do it right now. It's not that difficult to do. And so I want to just, I want to go through more of these things. So it's not a tool. It's implementation comes from humans. But your productivity system is a framework that you're going to follow. And I want you to start thinking about those things as you build your productivity system and your implementation system, because you may have things like how work flows through your organization, right? A workflow. and that workflow may touch multiple people. And so those are the kinds of things that you want to be thinking about as you build out your productivity system. But your productivity and implementation system should also have accountability measures, right? So let's say one of the reasons why you create a workflow is because it creates a demand, right? What the basis of of commerce, right? Which is supply and demand. It creates a supply and demand. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the word. And so, if you have a workflow that say, Joe is waiting for something that you're supposed to be doing, then he has to have certain things in place. Maybe I hate to say a specific form, but it's more like he needs to have the right information for him to complete his work. He needs to have your output in order as his input to create, whatever it is he's trying to create or finish and complete his work. So if you're thinking about those kinds of things, that's how you can create a supply and demand type of thing that creates accountability without actually being accountable officially. You know what I mean? So you're actually creating a supply and demand, and that demand and the rules of that demand, that he needs these things in order, A, B, and C in order to make D happen, then that input is going to have some rules based on it. So that means your output, when you're trying to output A, B, and C for that other person, you have to have those things in place for them to create that accountability. So think about that. But it's not just about at that higher level or that larger level, at your desk level. It's accountability in terms of making sure that you are staying on track, staying focused on the things that you're supposed to be working on in this small period of time. Okay, so your productivity and implementation system should have built-in accountability. Your productivity system should have some sort of time management guidance, right? In terms of, how to prioritize, how to, make sure that you have desk time, how to make sure that you're slating out the right quality of time for your work, okay? And then the very last piece of this whole thing is it doesn't really matter what kind of implementation system and productivity system you have if you don't use it and you don't rely on it as a framework and a part of the structure of your business. It won't work. So you want to make sure that you not only implement your system, but you also follow the rules that you set for yourself. And I think that that's one of the biggest problems that we have as entrepreneurs, is that we tend to try to be so unofficial. And because, we want flexibility, we want to have all that freedom and all that stuff. But that actually is what makes us start drowning in so much work that we can't function, is because we have no rules in place. We have no system in place. We might even have rules in place, but we're not following them. We blow them off like, oh, it doesn't really matter. It's just me. Well, when we do that, we actually set ourselves up for failure. And that's why having a system and actually depending on that system and following the rules of your own system is really important to creating a culture of your business that when you do hire, other people are going to be able to jump on and get right into being productive, right away, because you're going to have systems in place to help, onboard people. You're going to have systems in place that help people implement, and they understand how work flows from one person to another, or how work is supposed to flow, through their own desk if they have multiple steps, or if they're batching, or however they're doing their work, right? And having a productivity system is not just about you. It's not just about you as an individual. It's about your whole entire business as a business culture. And so that is really what, the Scrum Shop thing is all about, right? Is people, if you talk to entrepreneurs or marketing teams, they may say, yeah, we use Scrum, or we're a Scrum shop, right? Well, that's what they're saying is, just like they might say we're a .NET shop as a coding, or a Java shop, or we're a Microsoft shop, we're a Scrum shop because we use the framework of Scrum to manage our business. And that's why I actually took that framework of Scrum. I kind of massaged it and worked on it of how could a solopreneur use and apply the framework of Scrum. And then I added some time management pieces into that so that you can leverage all the time you have, even if it's just a few hours a week. I mean, I started my business on just, working less than 15 to 20 hours a week, maybe sometimes 25 hours. I was working a full-time job where I was really busy. I was really busy all day long. I was not like, it wasn't one of those where I could, study or, do my work while I was working. I wasn't just like, manning a station or something where I had nothing to do, just sit there. I actually had a really busy job. And I'm sure if you are doing a side hustle, you probably have a busy job too. And so you don't have time to mess around, right? And that's why a productivity system and a time management system is really, really helpful. And so I wanted to just, promote my Take Charge of Your Biz challenge. It is a self-paced course now, and I wanted to get that out to you guys because that system, it's not just for you to manage your desk. It's for you to create a culture for your business so that when you bring on more people and build your team, everybody has a system and a structure to depend on. So I want to just get you over to my website. It's thescrumshop.com/challenge, and you can register and get going on that. It's probably the best money you'll ever spend because a productivity system and an implementation system is really the key to getting everything done. Because while you're working alone, it's going to help you to, not work so many hours a week that you're burning yourself out. While you're working alone, you'll have a system in place where you work on small chunks of work in small periods of time so you can stay laser focused on that. While you're working alone, you'll have a way to prevent yourself from going down rabbit holes, learning more than you need to at the moment, learning things that aren't even relevant to what you're doing right now. It'll keep you focused. My course comes with Take Charge of Your Time. It's Take Charge of Your Biz Challenge. It comes with Take Charge of Your Learning so that you can start managing how you work your courses and how you work your learning into your work day and your work week so that it's intentional learning and not just, running, falling for that shiny object, right? We don't want to fall for the shiny object. Not that it's, most shiny objects are useful. They're useful in their time and when you're ready to learn them, right? And so if you're learning something, about writing a sales page, and in the next 2 weeks, you're not even working on a sales page, or even the next 4 weeks, you're not even working on writing a sales page, what's the point of taking that training right now? Why not instead focus your learning and focus your attention on getting these things done that you need to get done? And then when you are ready to write that sales page, then you can start learning that layer of the whole entire process, which is having an online business, which is a lot to learn, right? So go over to thescrumshop.com/challenge. You'll get all those bonuses, and believe me, it'll be the best money you spend because you will have a system in place that you can depend on and rely on. I also have some trainings in there on how to use Jira and how to use Trello. And Trello is a great tool for a beginner, but Jira, I think, is just such a better tool for managing your backlog, all the things that you have to do on your backlog, and then implementing everything that you need to implement. Okay. All right. So make sure that you build your productivity system. And even if you use my productivity system, you still have to massage and adapt it to you and then make it an official framework and part of the foundational structure of your business so that you have that framework to lean on, and then you use it all the time. You don't just set it aside and that's it and you never look at it again. Right? You don't, spend a whole bunch of money building a brand book or time building a brand book and then just leave it and never use it again. It's a tool, right? It's now a tool. It's part of the framework of your business. It's part of the foundation of your business. And that's what we do at the Scrum Shop, is we help you build the foundation of your business so that you can have smoother and better operations, so that you don't burn out. You can build your business sustainably. All right, you guys. Okay, take care.